In Syria, this flag is sometimes seen on the uniforms of rebel fighters. Interestingly, there are video recordings of rebels claiming they have no ties to the Islamic State. In this video, I want to take a closer look at the Islamic State's flag, its origins, and the various flags, often black but not always, associated with Islamist groups worldwide. To understand why black is such a common color in these flags, unusual for most flags, we need to delve into early Islamic history. Historical accounts from early Islam mention banners used by the Prophet Muhammad, not as national flags in the modern sense, but as battlefield banners to distinguish between troops. The Quraysh tribe from which Muhammad originated reportedly had two types of banners, one black and the other white and black. According to tradition, the Prophet himself had two banners, a white one called the Young Eagle and a larger black one called the Black Banner, or the Banner of the Eagle. These traditions laid the foundation for the prominence of black in jihadist flags. Additionally, there is an apocalyptic prophecy in Islam that speaks of a group from Khorasan, modern-day Central Asia, carrying black flags, signaling the end times and the emergence of a messianic figure. Many Islamist groups view themselves as the bearers of this black banner, which explains the widespread use of black flags in jihadist circles. One of the most iconic jihadist flags features the Shahada, Islamic declaration of faith, in white on a black background. The Shahada, which states, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet," is a fundamental part of Islamic belief and inherently harmless. However, in recent years, this flag has been heavily associated with jihadist and terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda. Variants of the flag exist, including those used by different groups, such as the Islamic State, which initially adopted a similar black flag with additional elements. The Islamic State's flag, for example, includes the Shahada in a modified script at the top and a white circular symbol at the bottom, representing the seal of the Prophet Muhammad. This seal has historical roots, as Muhammad reportedly used a similar seal on letters sent to rulers like the Byzantine Emperor and the Persian Shah. However, experts believe the version used today is likely a medieval forgery. Nonetheless, the Islamic State adopted it as a symbol of authority and legitimacy, aligning with their broader claim to represent the caliphate. The use of this flag has spread among various groups, including Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula and Al-Shabaab in Somalia. In Syria, the flag has been spotted among rebel fighters, though it's unclear whether they all align ideologically with the Islamic State. Some fighters may use the flag simply as a symbol of Islamic identity without direct ties to the group. This complexity mirrors the symbolic shifts seen in other contexts, like the use of far-right symbols in Ukraine. Finally, it's worth noting that not all flags with the Shahada are linked to terrorism. For example, Saudi Arabia's national flag features the Shahada on a green background with a sword beneath it, symbolizing the nation's Islamic identity. Similarly, the Taliban's flag, now Afghanistan's official flag, has the Shahada on a white background. The context of use is critical in determining the meaning and implications of such flags. In conclusion, while the Islamic State's flag draws from Islamic traditions and symbolism, its use today is heavily tied to jihadist ideology. The flag has become a powerful and contested symbol, used by various groups with differing agendas. It's important to analyze the context and intentions behind its display to fully understand its meaning. Here's a detailed paraphrase of the original text. In Syria, it has been observed that this flag is occasionally seen on the uniforms of rebel fighters. Interestingly, there are also video recordings of some rebels claiming they have no connection to the Islamic State. In this video, I want to explore this topic in greater depth, specifically examining the flag associated with the Islamic State, the use of various flags, especially the predominance of black flags, among Islamist groups worldwide, and the symbolic meaning behind them. We'll also delve into the historical roots to understand why these flags are often black, a color not commonly associated with national or organizational flags. Historical context of Islamic flags. To understand the prevalence of black flags, we must delve into early Islamic history. Historical accounts mention two banners reportedly used by the Prophet Muhammad. These banners were not national flags in the modern sense, but were often carried on battlefields to distinguish different military units. The Quraysh, Muhammad's tribe, had two types of flags, one black and the other white and black. According to Islamic tradition, the Prophet Muhammad used two banners as well, one white nicknamed the Young Eagle, and a larger black banner referred to as the Black Banner, or the Banner of the Eagle. Some accounts even claim the black flag was made from the headscarf of his wife Aisha. This historical association explains in part why many jihadist and Islamist groups adopt black flags. The apocalyptic prophecy and the black flag. Another important narrative comes from Islamic eschatology, which mentions a prophecy about the end of days. It foretells that a group will emerge from Khorasan, modern-day Central Asia, carrying black flags, heralding the apocalypse and the appearance of a messianic figure in Islam. Many jihadist groups see themselves as the bearers of this black banner, adding to its symbolic significance. The black flag with the Shahada. One of the most recognizable flags in jihadist circles is the black flag bearing the Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. The Shahada states, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet," a central tenet of Islam shared by over 1 billion Muslims worldwide. While the text itself is harmless and purely religious, its association with terrorism stems from its usage by jihadist groups like Al-Qaeda and others. Variations of this flag exist, including white flags with black Shahada text, such as the official flag of the Taliban and the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. The flag of Saudi Arabia also features the Shahada on a green background with a sword beneath it, highlighting that not all flags bearing the Shahada represent extremist groups. Saudi Arabia, an internationally recognized state, uses the Shahada as a religious and national symbol, showcasing how context matters when interpreting these symbols. The flag of the Islamic State. The Islamic State's flag, which first appeared in the mid-2000s, differs from other jihadist flags. It features the Shahada in a simplified calligraphy on top and a circular white symbol at the bottom. This circle represents what is believed to be the seal of the Prophet Muhammad. According to Islamic tradition, the Prophet used a seal inscribed with Muhammad, Messenger of Allah, when sending letters to rulers of neighboring empires. The Islamic State appropriated this symbol to convey its claim of legitimacy and authority, presenting itself as the rightful caliphate. However, experts argue that the seal depicted on the flag is likely a medieval forgery due to inconsistencies in the text's arrangement. The Islamic State's use of this flag reflects its self-perception as the sole legitimate representative of Islam, emphasizing its grandiose claims to power and authority. Symbolism among rebels and Islamist groups. In recent years, this flag has also appeared among Syrian rebels, although its use does not always signify allegiance to the Islamic State. In some cases, rebels wear it simply as a symbol of their Islamic faith, without affiliating themselves with the group. However, the presence of jihadists among the rebels cannot be ruled out. Interestingly, groups like Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, the most powerful rebel faction, have historically opposed the Islamic State, further complicating interpretations of the flag's use. This phenomenon is similar to the use of far-right symbols in conflicts like the one in Ukraine. Symbols can evolve in meaning and context, and it's essential to understand what individuals believe these symbols represent, rather than imposing external interpretations. To provide insight into the Islamic State's flag, its historical and symbolic roots, and its broader use among jihadist and Islamist groups. While the Shahada itself is a peaceful expression of faith, its usage in certain contexts has linked it with extremism, highlighting the complex interplay between symbols, history, and ideology. If you have further questions or insights, feel free to share them.